Welcome back everyone to another video. This is VilP and today I'm going to do a quick camera comparison between the OnePlus 8T, OnePlus 8 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. Currently you are watching the rear camera video recording. The video recording during daylight was quite good on all three phones. There is definitely a noticeable difference in colors between the OnePlus phones and the Fan Edition. The colors on the Fan Edition are not that vibrant compared to what we used to see on Samsung phones, and especially for the video recording the colors were a bit washed out and the contrast could be better. I overall prefer the color on the 8T and 8 Pro, leaning more towards the 8 Pro. This is my first time doing this kind of comparison side by side for three phones, so if you have any suggestion on how this can become more interesting for you, let me know in the comments. When I was doing this test, it had been raining for a few days. I couldn't get any sunlight. Actually here during autumn and winter we don't get to see the sun that often, so this makes the camera comparison for outside shooting quite difficult. Anyhow, I tried my best to take some shots outside that could challenge these phones. For every scene, if it was relevant, I took 3 shots by different sensors. Of course the 8T doesn't have the optical zoom, but I used the digital zoom. I mostly took shots with sensors that are most commonly used, and I didn't bother with micro and other useless sensors. Comparing the main shooter on these three phones, I think in most cases 8 Pro is definitely a better camera overall. So you're almost always sure that the camera takes good photos. Photos are sharper, the dynamic range is better, and there are less noise, especially in low lights. And the video recording is significantly better in both daytime and nighttime. My second choice would be the S20 Fan Edition. I think it's very close to 8 Pro in day shootings, but in low lights and more challenging scenarios, it lags behind the 8 Pro. The OnePlus 8T is also a good shooter, but I think the 8 Pro and Fan Edition are better shooters. For the ultra-wide photos, I think the 8T is taking better photos than the other two during daylight. Especially photos are sharper and it handles the distortion of the image around the edges better compared to other two. It was very clear in the shots I took from the flowers in the supermarket. During night shots, I would lean more towards the 8 Pro as my first choice for the ultra-wide, and then the Fan Edition. In terms of colors and the dynamic range, they are all good, but I think 8 Pro and then the S20 Fan Edition take better shots on the ultra-wide camera during night. For telephoto sensor, well, 8T doesn't have one, so we go with the digital zoom here, but both 8 Pro and the Fan Edition took very similar photos in the 3x zoom. 8 Pro photos are a bit sharper and there is more light into the photos. Overall, sometimes 8 Pro was better and sometimes the Fan Edition, but I think both of them are not that good in dynamic range and contrast when you are using the telephoto. I think this is probably common within telephoto zooms on smartphones in general, but overall sometimes during night the Fan Edition took better and brighter photos on the telephoto zoom with a little bit more noise, I would say. And here are the last part of this comparison, which is the video recording during night. I think the 8 Pro records better compared to the other two, especially there is less noise and the dynamic range and contrast is better. Shadow details are also handled better. The Fan Edition has more noise, but it also has a brighter video compared to the 8T. I lean more towards the 8T here compared to the Fan Edition because I prefer that color combination more. Anyhow, this was it guys. I will do more comparison between these devices and also the iPhone 12. So if you like this video and would like to see the upcoming ones, make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on so you don't miss them. That's it for now. Thanks for watching and until the next one.